of love and is willing to take their sins upon himself. But the same sentiment is felt by God. Evil constantly occurs in the world, and God cannot intervene in everything. Sometimes he must simply accept it. Mac understands and refuses to judge, and then wisdom shows him a vast field of flowers with children playing, among whom a joyful Missy is frolicking. Mac wants to know if she forgives him for not protecting her, and he receives the answer that the girl doesn't blame him or her loved ones. Mac stands beneath the waterfall, and pain, fear, and guilt leave him. He returns to the cabin and asks for forgiveness from Father. She says she can turn adversity into good, but it's not her who causes the problems, and she cannot be angry with him because she loves him. In the evening, God, Jesus, and Saraya lead him to a field where he meets his father and forgives him. The next morning, an elderly man wakes him up. This is a new aspect of God who asks Mac to take the next step and forgive the criminal. Mac cannot accept this, but God reminds him that forgiving doesn't mean becoming friends. It means letting go of the anger. Mac speaks the words of forgiveness, after which Father shows him where Missy's body is hidden. They wrap her in a white shroud, place her in a coffin, and bury her in the heavenly garden. Saraya pours Mac's tears into the ground, and at that spot, flowers and a large, beautiful tree grow. Returning to the cabin, Father asks if Mac is ready to go back home. If he stays here, he will be with Missy today, but she lives in a land of eternal patience and can wait. However, his loved ones cannot. Mac compares the two worlds and decides to return home, bidding farewell with the punishment to be more attentive to Kate since she blames herself for her sister's death. But they have always been, are, and will be there by his side. Mac comes to his senses in the middle of the cold cabin. He sits in his car, drives on the highway, and suddenly gets hit by a truck. Waking up in the hospital, he sees his neighbor Willie, who tells him that he never made it to the cabin because he was in an accident, but Mac objects and asks to call his family. Then he asks to be left alone with Kate. For the first time, she admits that she constantly thinks that if she hadn't stepped into the boat, her little sister would still be alive. But her father denies her words. None of them are to blame, and they can continue to live. He tells his wife that he saw God and Missy, conveying the content of their conversations. His wife unquestioningly believes him. From that day on, the family lives differently. The pain has finally let go. Mac allows himself to be happy and enjoy every moment spent with his family. And sometimes, he takes off his shoes and tries to walk on water. Who knows? Maybe it'll work. A complex and heavy film. Each person goes through a challenging journey to free themselves from some burden, grief, despair, guilt, fear. Otherwise,